All right, so for today's sketch, I kind of wanted to do a Cyclops. Saw a picture of a Cyclops, and I thought that'd be kind of fun. But I want to do something kind of silly with it. So I turned it into a teenager. As I was drawing, I kind of got that feel from Onward, that Pixar movie with the elves and the dwarves and all that stuff. That was a lot of fun. So got this little Cyclops dude here, trying to make him feel teenager. He's still fun. I didn't want him to be like edgy teenager, just kind of generic teenager. He's got a skateboard, he's got a sword in his hand, he's got a hat on. But I just kind of wanted to play with that old Cyclops myth type of thing, but then just kind of modernize it. So have some fun with these shapes, really push some things. His torso, as you can see, is massive and long, and his legs are really short. And honestly, underneath the basketball shirt, his legs could be longer than that, but you know, those shapes breaking down are large and small. Going in, a lot of these things I decide on after the time. You know, like I've got some of these shapes in here, some of these things going on, but some of these decisions I wait until later. Like right now, he doesn't have any hair, and I put hair on him a bit later, but you know, for now I'm just kind of exploring as I'm drawing. There's some things that I know and some things that I don't. I've got this cup going on there, giving it a bit of texture. I was playing around here, wanted a basketball jersey. I'm a big basketball fan, so I thought I'll put a basketball jersey on him. I get a skateboard on him as well. Blocking, and you'll even see above the numbers on his jersey, I just have a block where I'm going to put some text, you know, and I want to lay out on the cloth where it's going to go, and then I can break down kind of the letters there, which I'm apparently going to do now. You see I kind of break them into these little squares and then put the lettering in there. Did HAR. I was thinking like the Harpies or something like that. I was making up a fantasy basketball team. But going in on the hat, then starting to do a bit of detail, like what do I put here? So I kind of, you can almost see there's a little Pegasus on his hat, trying to keep in theme with the whole fantasy thing, but also modernize it a bit, just have some fun with it. I love big basketball shoes. I think they're a lot of fun to draw, just really big and bulky and, you know, just meaty. I had those big basketball shoes back in the day. I spent way more money on them than I even should have, but just loved them. They were kind of my prized possession for a while there, so I like to draw those big basketball shoes. Throwing in that cup and just starting to solidify these lines. Now that I have a lot of these shapes going down, I'm going to start to solidify some things a bit more, add a bit more detail, give them a watch. Started doing the skateboard here, and I thought, oh, you know what would be fun is if it had 6 wheels instead of the regular 4. So I threw another wheel on the skateboard, just kind of a weird touch to make it just feel a bit more alien, a bit more different. I wanted it to feel relatable enough, but still different. You know, that was kind of the balance I was going for there. Going in on some of the clothing now, some of the folds and things, making sure this is where I decided that, yeah, sure, I'll give him some hair. Pulled it in just to realistic a bit more, darken up that line in the arm, and just really starting to go in on these details now that I've got everything down. The rest of it is just, you know, boiling down to these little details. Gonna start going in, shading the pants and getting some of these lights and darks now that I have some of these big lines. Make sure that it's got some good balance as far as light and dark goes, as far as shading goes. You know, I don't want it to all be the same tone, the same shade everywhere, so I'm pulling in some of those things. I've seen some people, and they'll build up those shades even before some of those lines, and that's really kind of a focus for them, which is a really cool idea. As I was doing the cup, it kind of just turned into some more straights, kind of made it a straighter cup. Going in here, and just some detail lines, going to color in the skateboard a little bit, making sure that it feels like it's got that grip that you have on top of skateboards and things, really dark there. And just, you know, so then that skateboard now will pop out a bit more against his arm, which covers it. I didn't want the shirt to necessarily compete too much with the pants, but I didn't also want it to compete with the shoulders and the neck. So I did shade it back just a little bit, throwing in some folds and things there, really darkening up those lines, making sure everything works, and just putting in those finishing touches to make this guy done. It was a lot of fun to do. I hope you enjoyed him. Thanks for watching today's drawing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom if there's something specific you want to see drawn, and maybe it'll make it into a future video.